Hey guys, this is Rachel Youngson here from useplr.com and wholefoodplr.com. We are here for our Tuesday PLR Power Hour. This is a chance to ask questions about PLR, talk about resources that are going on in the PLR industry right now, showcase your own business, and more than anything, just kind of connect with each other and build those important relationships that will help to grow your business in the long run. Today, I think we have some folks who are just going to opt to use today as a constructive hour, which is perfectly fine. Everyone knows that this is how we run it. You don't have to, you can lurk or work, as we say. So I'm going to shut off the mic in a few minutes unless anybody else rolls in who wants to talk. But before I do, I did want to let everybody know about the planner journals that Jenn Brockman has just released. She's released these with an exclusive coupon to our group only. And this isn't being showcased to anyone else until, well, for a little bit of time, because she rocks and she wanted to do something good for our group. So we really appreciate that. So real quick, I'll just grab that link and I'll put it in the chat box along with your coupon code. And then for those of you who are watching the replay, I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick overview of it. So here it is. It's a fitness planner, and we can get this for $10 and under today. Basically, this is everything that you're going to get. And you may know Jen. She was in our PLR Power Hour a few weeks ago. She did a whole training for us on how we can use PLR journals, how to edit them, where we can market them. If you need help finding that training, please let me know, because it's a really valuable training. So what she did was she put this all together with the purpose of our group in mind, which I think is really, really amazing. She's got weigh-ins, food logs, water tracker, food swaps, carb stuff. I mean, it's just a really, really beautiful thing. And then she's got, of course, your notes section and things like that. So you have the rights here to not only market this as your own and earn money from it, but you also, of course, can use this for your own fitness and weight loss journey. And of course, this being January, this is a real prime time when people are looking to fulfill those weight loss goals. So this is $20 normally. However, please go onto the useplr.com site, go into the Did You Miss This section, and check out January 28th email post to get our special coupon code. Otherwise, it's also in the chat box for those who are here live. But I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing, and we will shut it down. Everyone, feel free to lurk, and if you have any questions, please feel free to tap me. If you have any questions between this PLR Power Hour and next week's, please shoot me an email at rachel@useplr.com. Hey there, Tina. Welcome to our PLR Power Hour. We have kind of a light power hour going on today. This is where we ask questions about how to use PLR or about resources that we may need to grow our business. And we also talk about what we've done this past week, our member wins, and things of that nature. Feel free to lurk or work. Um, Feel free to talk if you'd like. You don't have to, though. If you would like to talk, though, please shoot me a message in the chat box and we can get you unmuted and we can have a conversation. No problem, Tina. That sounds great. I do apologize that I welcome you to this group. Usually we have a few more folks. Last week I had I had a mom emergency, so there was a big snafu with last week's, and sometimes it takes uh, a little bit of time when I start running the next one for folks to start coming in. We usually have a bit of a heavier crowd than this, but please feel free to use this time to work on your PLR, make plans for it or anything like that. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. You can also tap me privately if you'd rather do that. Hey, Tina, sure, we can definitely do that. Hey, Shirley, good to see you here today. So Tina, I am I I am a PLR seller, and one of the things that I really recommend for other sellers is to first let me know what niche they're in, because what niche you're in kind of helps to dictate what kind of software you'll be using. So for instance, I am in the health food niche as far as where I sell PLR. And so one thing that I did when I chose my shopping cart was look for a shopping cart system that other PLR providers in the same niche are using, because that way it helps to build that know, like, trust factor with them, especially when you're newer on the scene. So have you thought about what niche you want to be in as of yet? And please feel free to put it in the chat. You don't have to jump on with your voice or anything. And while you do that, I will show you some services that that I know are pretty popular. Oh, that's a really unique, that's unique. So if I'm understanding correctly, you want to, in addition to being a VA, you're going to offer PLR that will help your customers to grow their business as well. Is that right? Am I understanding that correctly? Wow. Tina, that's really brilliant. That's great. I mean, I know a lot of VAs and I know a lot of PLR sellers. I haven't seen the two married before, and I think that's really cool. So, okay, well then let's do it this way. So you will, I'm assuming, and please correct me if I'm wrong, you'll be creating PLR that will help folks to will it be geared more towards helping them to run their business more successfully? For instance, PLR on how to use Microsoft and that kind of thing? Or would it be geared more towards personal development? And I'm asking for, I know it seems like, why am I asking you all this stuff? But I'm asking for a really specific reason, because I have a few places in mind of folks that you may want to get lined up as affiliates with. I also, as far as shopping carts, that's going to make a difference too. So that's why I'm curious. Okay, great. So when you start, for my PLR business, I really don't need a lot of software. The only thing, as far as, I mean, I use, of course, Microsoft Word to develop everything. I use a notepad. I use Trello to stay organized. And we did a little Trello walkthrough in last week's Power Hour, but I'll be more than happy to do a brief walkthrough if you'd like me to this week. Mainly though, as far as creating your packages, you look for a way to get those packages to your customers and court your affiliates. Those are the two strongest pieces of software that I believe any PLR seller has. You can outsource a lot of the other stuff, but I mean, that's kind of the core of your business. So for my website, I use a WordPress site. I use, I got my domain name through HostGator, but some folks use Bluehost or MomWebs. I've heard good things about both of those. I've heard that they're more affordable, but they also have more one-on-one care than HostGator. So if you're kind of trying to feel everything out, you may want to look at those options as well. Unfortunately, I don't have links for either of those. If any of our other guests today have links, please feel free to drop them in the chat. And of course, you guys know you can always use your affiliate links when you help anybody else out here. I can tell you MomWebs is run by my personal business coach, Kelly McCausey. So right there off the bat, I kind of have more faith in that. The only reason that I've never switched over is because, honest to gosh, I'm just lazy. So, I mean, I have 2 sites and I'd already had them up on HostGator for a few years before I even knew these other better options existed. So anyway, as far as hosting and domain, HostGator, GoDaddy is what I currently use. Use GoDaddy to find the web address, use HostGator to host it. MomWebs or Bluehost are 2 other options that I've heard good things about. And then the next thing you'll want to look at is your shopping cart system. So in the self-improvement niche and business niches, there are 2 specific types of shopping carts that I've seen run successfully. And one of them is Thrive Cart. It's THRIVE cart. And the second one is iDev affiliates. So Justin Popovic from Tools for Motivation, his shopping cart runs on iDev. I've never used it personally. I only use it to grab my links from Justin, but he is one of the biggest names in the self-development, self-help, PLR, and confidence and public speaking and all that stuff. He handles a lot of that stuff and a lot of folks love him. So I would take a look at that Tools for Motivation website that Justin runs. I would look at how he orchestrates his shopping cart. Oh yeah, sure. It's IDEV. I may be able to find a link for it. Here we go. I'm dropping a link for you right in the chat. So again, I don't personally work with this cart, but for your niche, I know that Justin is a big name in your niche, and it may be beneficial to you to kind of take a look at what he's using. Also, Thrive Cart is run by Charles Terrence Harper of the PLR show, and he makes a lot of PLR that you may want to be an affiliate for, because he makes a lot of PLR that's how to use Dropbox, how to use this Microsoft application, how to use PLR. He just did a PLR masterclass a few weeks ago. So a lot of that stuff might be a good fit for you as far as while you're building up your own PLR, things that you can maybe recommend to your folks to help them. The other thing is, if you haven't made any kind of shopping cart decisions yet and you don't have the money to invest in a shopping cart, which can sometimes be pricey, sometimes can be a little bit of a tech headache, the other option is to go through JVZoo. Do you know anything about JVZoo? Have you heard of that before? Oh, I'm sorry. When you say the second name, you mean the Thrive cart? Okay, I can do that for you. That one's going to take me just a second to find because I have it here somewhere, but that's going to take a sec. Okay, great. So, so then, as you know, JVZoo is it's a great site for the purposes of getting affiliates to trust you. It's great for the purpose of getting products out and having something else to manage your stuff. One thing that I always tell folks though is even if you start with JVZoo, I always recommend that you try to make those shopping cart decisions sooner than later. You don't necessarily have to do it right away, but you do have to, in my opinion, keep in mind that JVZoo, if they have an issue on their end, your launch doesn't go out on time. Because, and you know, I've seen it happen before with some of these bigger launches. JVZoo has some kind of a kink and nobody can make sales for, even though it's just for 15, 20 minutes, you know, that's a lot of time for, you know, the Alice Sebas who, you know, make PLR all the time and really have these big launches, and, you know, everybody kind of waits for them to open up so they can promote them. So I always recommend that you make the decision to go have your own shopping cart, if nothing else, as a fail-safe, because that's yours. Let's see. So I'm trying to find the main ThriveCart link right now. Excuse me. And just in case you wanted to see it, this is the PLR show. That is Charles Terrence Harper. He's the one that uses ThriveCart for his affiliate program. He is the one that does a lot of Microsoft and Dropbox and all that kind of training that may or may not be of use to your clients. And I apologize because I can't seem to find his ThriveCart information. But I do believe that this is the correct main site for that cart. And actually, and also, I've been thinking about trying to get someone on here who is, some folks teach how to start PLR businesses, like Alice Seba. She's got a great training on that. And I've been, even though like our power hour is mainly for folks who want to use PLR, we definitely get folks who come in who are trying to figure out how to start their own business selling PLR. And so I've been thinking about trying to have somebody in who can work with me and you know, show you guys a different side of it and how they got started and things like that. I'm more than happy to answer any questions for you. And so if you have any questions between now and next power hour, or ever actually, in regards to creating your own PLR front, feel free to reach out to me at rachel@usplr.com. And also, you're more than welcome to join us anytime here at our power hour and ask questions there too. Shirley, it's great to see you today. Did you want to lurk or did you want to talk today? Please feel free to throw an answer for me in the chat box when you get a chance. Thanks, Tina. Tina says she'll join us as often as she can. I do appreciate it. We usually have like 7 to 10 folks who come pretty regularly, but last week was one of those mom pickups. So this week is kind of, I think, paying for last week. But I do appreciate it. And you can always reach out to me. Even if it's just, hey, can you recommend some folks that I may want to court as affiliates, possible affiliates for my site or vice versa. Okay, Shelly, no problem. Sorry, Shirley. Yeah, no problem. You know the drill. If you need me, please feel free to throw something in the chat or let me know. And other than that, we have a pretty light group today, guys. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off my mic. And we are going to spend the rest of this power hour focusing on working on our PLR. If anyone has any problems or questions, please let me know. Other than that, we'll touch base at the very end just to make sure everybody's doing okay. Okay, guys, for those of you, I know a lot of you are lurking today, which is perfectly fine. But because we did have a question on creating PLR and software, I did want to just let some of you know kind of the process when I create things for my Whole Food PLR site. One of the things that I use is a Chrome extension called LastPass. And what it does is it memorizes your username and password so that the next time you log in to a site, it automatically fills in for you. And that's really great as far as protection and the fact that so many of us have like a bajillion sites. The other thing that I wanted to do is show real quick how I make our PLR, the images that we sell as PLR. We do this for all of our bundles over at the Whole Food PLR site. You will find different images and social images and things like that. So what I'll do is I'll go into Canva. And again, this is just for the folks who need it. If you don't need it, feel free to turn me off and go about your business. But once I log into Canva, I have my background that I pick. And Canva is great because it lets you do all these different things. But for the purposes of creating social images, I just grab what I created before, and I use social media is what I clicked on the very first time I did this. But once you do it once, you can kind of, it saves it so that you can like just use the same font style and just change the picture and just change maybe the, do a little bit of arranging and you're done with it. So that's really great. So we are creating a super pack, or we've already created a super pack. We're doing a little refresher on it over at Whole Food PLR on our Paleo for Beginners bundle. And one of the things that we're doing is creating social media images for this bundle. So I have on my desktop, I have a folder that's a This Week folder. And everything that I do is here. I do FBA as one of my business streams. This is just a training that I was doing. I have a training folder, Write Stuff. This is where I do all of my used PLR and Whole Food PLR stuff. So I'll click in here, go to releases, Whole Food releases, past releases. This is the naming convention that I use for all of my stuff. So I'll have the last date that it was edited, or the date when it was released, if it's been released. And then you just click in. I'll have an archive. So this is my super pack. This is the one that we're going to be updating it with. This is the archive. This is the original pack that folks currently have in their membership. I have a folder here for social media images. And what I've done is I've gone through and I've picked royalty-free images off of Pixabay. I picked 10 images and I'm going to name those images. Excuse me, my son gifted me a cold last week, so sorry about that. But I'm going to name these images with whatever it is that I want to say on the image. And that helps me as far as it saves time later on when I'm creating these images. I can just go in. I don't have to question what I want to say or anything like that. I just go in and I make the image. When I'm done making the image, I'll save it to this folder as well. And that way my customer will have this image and the final image. So let's go ahead and create a final image for you. And again, this is just so that you can kind of get an idea of what we're doing over here. Let's see. Plus, it kind of lets you know that while I'm asking you to work, I'm working too. So I'm not playing Candy Crush while I'm asking you to work. I'm not saying I'm not tempted to play Candy Crush while I'm asking you to work. I'm just saying I'm not doing it. So go past releases. I'll grab my first image. When you upload it, it comes down here. So all you have to do is click it, brings it over here. And then I just make it big enough to encompass the whole space. Now the next thing I'm going to do is change this wording. So let's see. Paleo for those who matter most. Let's do it as 2. So I copied it so that I have a second line here. Put that down there. Now, of course, I'm not going to keep this lettering this color because it doesn't look very good at all. The other thing is, because the picture itself has pretty bold colors, I'm going to want to put a filter on it so that it doesn't necessarily take away from the image itself, but it does allow these the lettering to stand out a little bit more. So let's see. There we go. That looks good to me. One thing that I use when I am creating these social media images is if I want to, when I create these, I tend to try to mimic the colors that are in the image itself for the lettering. So for instance, this paleo will probably wind up being this color or this yellow. And to do that, I use a program called GIMP. You can download it on just Google GIMP, and you can download it. Be super careful when you download it, because I somehow got a bad copy of it last year, and it was quite fun. I have a computer husband, so it was fixed in like a day, but I know not everybody is that fortunate. So GIMP is installed, and it's tagged here. It's pinned to the bottom here. So I'll just click that, open it up. There we go. All right. And I will give that a minute. So what it's doing is it's kind of catching up with itself, because sometimes I get a little bit click happy and things like that happen. While we're waiting, Tina, this is specifically for you and for anyone else, by the way, who's thinking of starting to create their own PLR. Over on the useplr.com site, we have personal use only reports, which means they're not PLR reports, but some of them may help you in your own creation of PLR. So for instance, we have this gift right here, PLR to social media images. And I basically walk my customers through taking an image that they get in a PLR pack, finding royalty-free images, changing the image up to be whatever they want it to be, and using free sites to do it. But as a PLR provider, you can also use this. You'll learn how to look for royalty-free images. You'll learn how to, of course, use Canva to change it up. I believe we have some GIMP tutorials in here too. And of course, it's a free gift over at useplr.com. So feel free to help yourself to that. All right, so once I'm in GIMP, what I'm going to do is File, Open. And basically, I'm just going to go through the whole big spiel of finding my This Week folder again, Right Stuff, Releases, Past Releases. All right. So we're going to open this up. Now, there's this whole list of options over here, but what I do is I go up to Tools, and then Color Picker. And now I can pick any space on here, and it pulls the actual color over here. So let's say I want to do like a light blue. Let's say like that one, maybe. Then you double click there. So I just double clicked on the actual box itself. And then you get this color code, copy it, take it on over to Canva, click on that color, paste the code, voila, do it again. All right, and what I'll probably do is mess with the filter a little bit so that I can kind of make those, I kind of want the letters to pop a bit. So let's see, let's go back to drama. No. Okay, let's do this. All right, well, I'm going to keep playing with this, and my final product is probably going to be something like this, but a little bit different on the height of the letters. Once I'm done with everything, I'll just click download, and I'll save it to that same file. Okay, guys, so this is Kim, you're a genius. Kim did mention that what I might want to do is look at the opacity for the file or picture, which is super smart. Thank you, Kim. With everything you've got going on, especially, I really appreciate it. Okay, guys, so that's what I'm going to start by doing with this picture, is looking at the opacity and changing that, and then maybe looking at the filters and that kind of thing. But that's basically the process of what I do when I create images for my PLR folks. If you have any questions, guys, please feel free to reach me at rachel@useplr.com. This is Rachel Youngson from wholefoodplr.com and useplr.com. I will see you next Tuesday for our weekly PLR Power Hour. Tomorrow, Kelly McCausey is doing her PLR Implementation Hour. If you would like to join her over there, please visit the Love People Make Money Facebook group, and she should have details in there. If you need me to help you with anything, please let me know. You're welcome, Tina. All right, guys, have a good one. Thanks again for the tip, Kim, because this is going to be the my head herder for today.